Wait. Hang on. What do you mean it's July already? Like, really? Oh, okay, I guess. Okay, well, shit. Okay. Fuck, July. This year is flying by. Okay, this is very late, but we'll figure it out. Okay. Let me just, how am I looking? Oh god, my hair's a mess. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? You're just gonna have to look how grey I'm going. Which side is that side? I don't know how cameras work. I'm going so grey. Oh no, I'm getting old. Okay. Well, you know, this is just how it's gonna have to be. So, okay. Video making time. Let's do the thing. It's QJ's State of Play update and all the things. Do I even know what we're updating? Do I know what day it is? No, not particularly. Am I okay? I don't know. Let's find out, shall we? Wait. Oh, we're recording? How long have you been there? Hello everybody, welcome back to Quest Junkies. It's me, Patch, your ever humble dungeon master, here with July's State of Play update. Apologies for the delay, we wanted to get this out before July, but you know, life, it's been pretty busy here at Quest Junkies, as you've no doubt seen over the last couple of months. But boy, do I have some updates for you. So first things off, a massive shout out and show of appreciation and love to the wonderful Beth at Sylvando Art for this, the brand new Quest Junkies logo that we got done a few months ago. We were so thrilled with the work that you did on it, Beth. You are amazing and we love you so much. Everyone please go and give some love and support and commission some goddamn art, because look at this, it's beautiful. It's like, you know, I've been wanting to do like a redesign of the Quest Junkies logo for a while, but you know, I'm limited in my graphical design capability. I can imagine things, but it's getting them from here to the screen is the problem in some areas. That's why I bring wonderful people like Beth in to come and pull the image out of my brain and make it a thing that is tangible and real. So yeah, we're really thrilled with it, and just I hope it's the first of many little projects that we can work on together in the future. So thank you so much for that, first of all. So 2024, a lot's happened this year. Let's try and go through it. First of all, we got nominated for a Crit Award. Holy shit, like that's incredible. Like, I mean, Scarlet got nominated for the Crit Award. They contacted me. I reached out to them and said, please amend it to be Scarlet's song, because the award is for best setting narration, best setting description for Candela Obscura, The Circle of Blood and Time. More news on that a little later on. And they rightfully have credited Scarlet as well, because it's such an honor to be nominated for a Crit Award. Like, that's, you know, we are the tiny little fish in this gigantic ocean that is the TTRPG community online. And any kind of recognition means a hell of a lot more to us than it would to most bigger names in the community. So this is well earned for Scarlet. Scarlet is incredible, and I hope the whole world gets to see just how incredible through this Crit Awards nomination. Yeah, so the voting is closed. I believe they've just announced that the virtual event will be on the 16th of August, I believe. It's like a 2 a.m. thing for me, but it's a weekend. I'm off work, so I guess I'm gonna be up late. If I recall, it's actually on the same night that we would be doing a community hangout. So stay tuned for news on whether or not we make that a thing as part of the community hangout that night. We'll post about that in the Discord nearer the time. Other than that, we debuted a bunch of new content. Massive shout out in particular to the wonderful Pat Toons for the incredible two-shot of The Legend of Zelda Molten Men Tale No Tales. A fantastic foray into the Dangerous to Go Alone system. Absolutely incredible two-shot, which, had no involvement from myself whatsoever. I think that was the very first time a QJ project has had zero involvement from me, which I'm really proud of. You absolutely smashed it out of the park, Pat, and just everyone involved in that production that was not me. Credit to all of you for making an amazing thing. And when's the next one? You did this without me. You're going to do another one without me? I'm going to lay that on the table for you now. Although I think Pat had some ideas for some other stuff. But, I'll let Pat discuss that in the future when he feels worthy. This is his project. And I give my full blessing for it to continue, because it was amazing. We also saw our favourite lawkeeper fanfic her way back into the Vampire the Masquerade world with Cybervamp 2134, which was such an amazing experience, blending the Bad and the Beautiful story with a whole new thing, blending the elements of Vampire the Masquerade and Cyberpunk. I sat in with Bridget in the early conversations about how this was going to go, and it's such a difficult thing to blend not just two worlds, but two game systems, essentially, and find the right happy medium between them. And, credit where credit is due. Bridget is an amazing storyteller and has created such a vibrant and engaging world. And I've been honored to be part of it, playing Lucy Noriel. And Cybervamp was incredibly successful. We did a live follow-up during Pride Week. We're going to talk about Pride Week a little bit later on. And yeah, it's just what a fun time, and it's led on to so many ideas for how this story will continue, both in the future and in the past. There's so many different avenues that we can go down here, and I have no concerns with Bridget at the helm. It's going to be a real success all on its own, and I can't wait to see what comes next. I mean, I kind of know what's coming next. I have some personal insight, but I'm excited for you to see it. It's going to be fun, and to quote Bridget, we will be bite back. It doesn't sound as good when I say it. Well, it's fine. I tried it. We also started our brand new bi-weekly campaign, Descent into Avernus, the thing I stressed about for months and months because it was a pre-established module, which has been my number one fear as a GM up until this point. And what a great way to start off. It was, a big stepping stone for me, but, we're a few episodes in now. We've told some pretty interesting stories, and we're doing our own spin on Descent into Avernus. It's not going quite the same as it does in the module, so I have a little bit of flexibility there as a DM. But welcoming both Ludus and Sho to the table for a regular appearance, Sho's first time, I believe, on a streamed campaign. Truly wonderful to have them share this experience with us. They've both knocked it out of the park. Everyone at the table's knocked it out of the park. Also bringing Ali in for the first time on Quest Junkies. It's just all around been a wonderful experience for me as a DM to have this table together for this story. And there's so much good stuff to come. I can't wait to get into it. And I'm excited. We have our next session this weekend as of time of recording. I hope this goes out today. I don't know when. Future Patch, did you edit or did you procrastinate? I'm looking at you, Patch. We also launched a little thing we like to call Quest Junkies Academy in our community Discord server. Now, a lot of people might still not fully understand what it is, so I'll try and explain it as best I can, as simply as I can, here. So, Quest Junkies Academy is a space in the Discord server that we made for our many community members to be able to come together and play games with each other. Not just like D&D, but also try out new tabletop role-playing games. We have a vast library of content that we're, able to share with our members. There is spaces there for you to say, for example, if someone was to say, oh, hey, does anyone, I've always wanted to try Pathfinder. I've heard it's a really chunky system, and I've always thought I wanted to give it a go. Does anyone in here know how to run Pathfinder, and would someone be up for doing it so I can see what it's like? And one of the other community members might just be like, oh, hey, I've been looking for the opportunity to run a Pathfinder thing. Holy shit, yeah, let's do a thing. And then they can put a little post and say, hey, I'm putting this game together. We're thinking for about this time. Here's what you need to know for character creation. Session 0, we're thinking about this time. Who's free? And then people can be like, oh, I want to get on this. Oh, I want to get on this. And it won't just be like community members. There'll be QJ team members as well. We might run some games. We might test run things to see if it will work for QJ content in the future. So it's a potential for members of our community to actually become QJ players in the future, because it also kind of lets us see what kind of players our community members are. And I might have a project coming up and I think, oh, I played that Call of Cthulhu game with this individual, and they had such a good vibe with this individual. So maybe bringing them into this, that would be a really good combination, And more than anything, it's just, there's been, when we've announced the opportunity for recruitment for future QJ projects, we've always had so much response. So many people want to get in on our stories, which is wonderful. And I wish we could have tables big enough for 30 players. I really do. But unfortunately we can't. But the community has been the heart and soul of Quest Junkies since day one. And I wanted to find a way for us to give back to the community, to make sure everybody there has the opportunity to do something, to play in something, to tell stories in a safe space within the community, because that's what matters most. And QJA is kind of how we want to do this. Not to quote Matt Mercer. But yeah, I hope that answers any questions that anyone has about QJA. If not, if you still have questions, feel free to reach out to me in the community Discord. I'm happy to sit down and explain. We have other ideas as well, I need to still look into how Discord stages work. I think that's what they're called. Because we would also like to use it to have discussion nights where one of us will give a presentation and take questions on specific topics. You could for example say oh, I'm a new DM for D&D and I'm trying to learn how to balance encounters. Could you help? And then one of the community the team members could say, well, yeah, okay, I feel pretty confident about how I do that, so I'll throw together a little thing. And it's kind of like a TED Talk. We get everyone together and we go through it and we can take questions and we can have a big community-led discussion about it. We've had a few of the members have already talked about doing a D&D for beginners, Vampire the Masquerade for beginners, that kind of thing. I have a few ideas for stuff that I would want to talk about. It's all very specific stuff, but it's in response to community request. So, if there's any kind of thing, whether it's, you want to learn to be a better role player, or you just want a better, easier explanation of how a certain rule set in a certain game works, just reach out and put it in the server and say, hey, could anyone go over this with me? And then we can do it as part of Quest Junkies Academy. So I've rambled a lot about that, but the TLDR is, it's a place for us to all play games together. It's a way for us to try and give back to our wonderful community and just to tell more stories. We don't have to be on live stream to tell stories. We want to be telling these stories all the time. And, if I can't be there and we can't stream it, then the server is a place where we can still do it as a group. So yeah, that's Quest Junkies Academy. Alright, what's next on my schedule? Pride Week. We had an incredible week of Pride streams, 8 days of 8 streams with an Averna sandwich on either side and some incredible games in between. I personally love the fact that we only did 3 D&D streams. We had such a focus on new TTRPGs, one of which was a brand new one made for the very first time. It was the very first playtest. Veronia's Familiar Fuck Up, by our wonderful brewmaster, Myra the Pirate. The grand return to Quest Junkies after rocking the stage as Lady Macbeth in Colchester. It was such a wonderful week, and while it was like physically exhausting to be doing this for 8 days in a row, like I had so much fun, and I got so much out of that experience. And massive love and thanks to everyone who participated, everyone who ran games, everyone who played, everyone who helped behind the scenes. It was a absolutely stonking victory. And we raised over $1,200 for the Trevor Project. They reached out to us with a personal thank you, which was really wonderful to receive, showing that, while we might be this small fish in the community, we can make some big waves if we pull together. We recently launched our Ko-fi as well, properly for the first time. We've had a few people reach out to us recently and say, hey, I give you my Twitch sub every month, but is there a way that I can contribute more? Because, we all know that Twitch, like many things, like PayPal and all these different online things, they love to take a cut of payments. So, like, for example, like basically for every Twitch sub that we get like less than half of the money. Or around about half. It's not quite half, which is not a lot. And our Twitch revenue is our only source of income. We still currently make Quest Junkies at a loss. It costs me almost twice as much every month to bring Quest Junkies content to the screen. So we decided to go ahead with the Ko-fi to try and alleviate some of that, because the more self-sustainable Quest Junkies is, the easier it is for us to make more content and to do this eventually full time. That's always been a dream of mine, and it's always seemed very unachievable, but maybe not. We could probably do this. I see that as more of a possibility now, which is insane but also wonderful. So we've set up a Ko-fi. There are some tiers on there at the minute that you can choose from to get certain rewards. We'll probably expand the tiers as time goes on, as we get more ideas, but there's like a basic thing there for now where you can subscribe more and you can get early access to content and things like that. Please go ahead and go over to the Ko-fi page and check it out. The link will be in the description below. And, if you are one of those people that really is insistent on contributing more, then that's the best way currently for you to do that. We're still looking at what would hypothetically be the best way, because it seems to be very difficult now for content creators to get 100% of the money that people want to give them. There seems to be nowhere that does that. So we're trying to find a way that can happen, because people work hard to earn their money, and if they choose to give it to us, I would rather us get it than someone like PayPal take 50% of it, or Patreon taking however much they take. Our other source of income was actually our merch store, but we haven't really sold any merch for a long time, except for the odd occasion. So we've taken the decision that we're going to take down the merch store, and we're going to essentially redo it. We're going to go with a different service provider that is much less expensive. The one we had ended up being quite expensive, and when you're not selling anything, you're not making any money, that's just a loss month after month after month. Really difficult decision, because we love the merch store, we love the merch that we've been able to put together. When we come back with a new merch store, we're not going to have as much variety, unfortunately. There's probably, to be completely open and transparent about it, there's probably going to be more difficulty with bringing down the cost of international postage, but that's something we can really not avoid with the way the world is currently, but we will do our best to try and alleviate that as much as we can. When we come back, we'll have a much more limited run of merchandise. I think we were a bit oversaturated with designs. That's my fault. I had an addiction to designing merch. I'm working on that. So yes, for the time being, we're taking a step back with merchandise to reassess and figure out the best way forward for that, because people do still want the option to have merch, and we want to be able to provide that. Like, as players, we want the merch. The amount of times we're in a session and we're like, oh, that's going to be at the next t-shirt. So that covers the merchandise store. Now we get on to the really exciting thing, the upcoming Quest Junkies releases. First things first, as part of Pride Week, you saw us debut something called the AV Club. This is a Kids on Bikes experience GM'd by the wonderful Maddie, who you will have seen in Bad and the Beautiful and Cybervamp and guesting on the Redania Chronicles. This was a 4-part adventure that we recorded a few months ago. It was actually the first test run that we did for Quest Junkies Academy, like as an idea. This was us test running how this could work, and it worked so perfectly that by the end of the first session, we decided we were going to actually release it as a Quest Junkies thing, because there was no intention to do so originally. This was a test thing, but we had so much fun that we wanted to bring it to you guys. The one-shot that you saw as part of Pride Week was actually a prequel to introduce the characters. The sessions that we recorded for the AV Club will follow up that, and we'll take the group of adorable nerds into a world that they don't quite expect. But I'm very, very excited to get that released to you. I'm working on the edit as we speak. It should be out in the next few weeks. And yeah, oh my god, so excited for you to see my traumatized boy some more, and his adorable nerd friends, and his little brother who's got sticks in his hair and keeps giving me a heart attack. And the interesting facts. Always the interesting facts. We also have our space stories that were coming up. This was a last-minute idea thrown together by the wonderful Sky McSparkle. While we've been waiting for the triumphant return of Stradalicious, we did the space Spelljammer-themed one-shot in Pride Week, which we had so much fun with, and Sky offered to run a series of adventures every other week, just to sort of fill in the void where we want Stradalicious to be until its return, so that we could have a chance just to play some fun stuff. And we're really excited. We have the first one coming up next week, I believe, next Friday. I've made a character. I am going to be playing a monk, and I'm really, really excited. I haven't played a monk for years. Love them. So excited for this. There will definitely be connections to Ileana from Stradalicious. Ileana, I suspect, may show up as a DMPC, potentially. But speaking of Stradalicious, I do have somewhat of an update on that. We still do not have a fixed return date for Stradalicious, but we are edging ever nearer to this being a reality, as we will soon see the return of Dungeon Mummy Bree to QJ for both Stradalicious and Avernus. We'd like to thank everybody for their patience and trust. The wait will have been worthwhile. I promise you that. Moving on, we will actually see 2 Quest Junkies anniversaries in August, in the same week nonetheless. August the 1st will mark the 2-year anniversary of the Wild Ones adventure in the Redania Chronicles. 2 years. Fuck. That's a heckin' long time. Wow. 2 years. It's only just dawned on me that it's been 2 years of the wild assholes. Oh god, that's so fun. And yeah, whilst August the 4th will mark the 1-year anniversary since we began Stradalicious, we've not fully decided yet on how we want to celebrate these anniversaries. But once we do, we will no doubt post about it in the Discord and on socials. it would feel wrong to not mark these anniversaries in some way, shape, or form. So watch this space. Our wonderful friends over at Darrington Press are celebrating Candela Obscura Games Week at the end of this month. From July 26th to August 1st, Darrington are inviting content creators to run Candela Obscura games and make Candela-related content in celebration of the wonderful system that we fell in love with at the start of the year. We haven't fully planned out what we want to do for Candela Obscura Games Week yet, but we would love to hear your input. What would you like to see QJ do to mark this occasion? We've had ideas like kicking off with a community watch party of the Circle of Blood and Time, our wonderful Crit Awards nominated adventure, because the 26th of July will actually be a Friday where we would normally have a community hangout. So it would be fun to do that. Let us know if that's something you'd be interested in doing in the Discord. Perhaps we'll do something in Quest Junkies Academy, like we could do a roundtable discussion on like how to do character creation for Candela Obscura. Feel free to drop your suggestions. If there's a specific aspect of Candela that you'd like to know more about, or one of us might even be able to throw together a last-minute one-shot, maybe. Who knows? And speaking of Candela Obscura, I'd like to draw your attention to this. We are thrilled to officially reveal that Part 2 of the Circle and Blood and Time will be coming to your screens this November. We'll see the return of Scarlet's Song as our Lightkeeper, myself, Sky, Bree, and Bridget, all returning as our respective characters from Part 1, and we can't wait to bring you The Seer Stands Still. I'm sure it's jam-packed full of horrors that Scarlet has planned for us. I can't wait. I'm so excited to be traumatized. As with last time, it will be a pre-recorded adventure, so we can give it as much shine and polish as possible. We are scheduled to sit down and record this adventure in September, so stay tuned on more information on that. But wait, that's not all! I don't know what that was. During Pride Week, one of our stretch goals that we didn't hit was that we would do a second Candela Obscura circle, which would run alongside Blood and Time, one that would be helmed by myself. And while we didn't achieve that stretch goal, I had some great ideas, and behind the scenes I've been doing a lot of work in turning this idea into a formable plan. And I decided to get a little bit daring, shall we say, with casting, and I am both thrilled and terrified to be able to say that in early 2025 I will be leading what looks to be the most incredible table of content creators QJ has ever seen into a little story that I like to call The Spectres of Silverlight Theatre. Taking much inspiration from Scarlet's Song and the wonderful Spencer Stark, I've carefully crafted a grim tale of body horror and ethereal dread, and I can't wait to sit down at this table and see what happens. We'll announce the cast later in the year, but I promise you, that cast lineup will be worth any kind of wait. But what else does early 2025 have in store for Quest Junkies? Well, Candela is not the only thing that Scarlet will be helming for us. Scarlet and I have been planning a little mini-series for a while now in the background. And while there's still so much to be revealed, we are pleased to formally announce Threads of Convergence. This will be a multi-episode mini-series serving as the ultimate prequel story to the Redania Chronicles, not just this campaign, but all of the Redania Chronicles campaigns that came before it. Set in a time when gods walked amongst mortals and the world knew nothing of strife or loss, the truth of the gods of Redania will be revealed as we see firsthand how the very first convergence came to be, and the consequences that came after. Expect high-level characters, immensely RP-focused story, gripping, emotional drama, and the mother of all lore drops. In the words of Sam Reich, get ready for a game changer. And that's all for now, I believe. On behalf of the whole Quest Junkies team, I'd like to send each and every one of you my love, thanks, and appreciation for all the support up to now. We couldn't do anything that we do here if it wasn't for the QJ community. You guys are our lifeblood. You keep us going. We love you so much. And to continue being open and honest, you know, it sucks, but there's been a few close calls lately. There's been a few times where I've had to sit down and I've had to look at my living and financial situation and ask myself if Quest Junkies can be continued or not. We've had some near misses lately, and that's been an awful thing to sit down and think about. It sucks because it's everything that I want to do. Ever since I discovered this nerdy little genre of nerddom, it's been everything I've wanted to do with my life. And as time's gotten on, it's gotten harder to do with how the rest of the world is slowly turning. And as I said before, while full-time QJ as an idea, as a prospect, as a goal, seems like a million miles away, the love and support that you give us makes it seem just that little bit closer, and that's what keeps QJ going. So when I say I appreciate you, I want you to know just how much. We have always been and always will be a community-led brand of actual play. And any time we make plans, you, the community members, will be at the forefront of those plans. And you know, I'm excited to see where we go next. Whether that be expanding into other forms of media. Discussions have been had about this. Bringing in big guest stars to appear. Watch this space. Booking convention appearances. Discussions have been had. Or even having the ever-fabled Quest Junkies Live. Be careful what you wish for. I can promise you one thing. You will be at the heart of every decision we make. Because you are QJ. So thank you all so much for watching and listening to my rambling on end. I love and appreciate you all so much. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments or reach out to us on Discord. Myself or the moderators will be happy to hear from you. And I guess if there's anything else left to say, keep questing, QJs. Now, if you excuse me, I'm getting a phone call. 1 second. Brennan, hi! Oh, it's so good to hear from you. How you doing? Look, I saw episode 1 of Downfall. Really good. Like, I have a few notes on how it could be made better, but I wanted to talk to you about the project over at Quest Junkies. Yeah, is now a good time? Amazing. Okay, so the way that it starts